to the last, she came to the Super Saturday. So get your tickets to the Tampa Bay Leadership School. That link will be posted today around noon again. But what we're going to talk about is how to keep your money today. Okay. So this is not going to be like a super fiery, like motivational last conversation this morning. What we're going to talk about though is how once you get paid, how you keep that money in your pocket. Okay. Because if you do what I did when I started and you just write a whole bunch of trash business, you are not going to get to keep your money. Okay. Or if you don't do the things that you should do, you don't get to keep your money. All right. So listen, if you're new here, you're not licensed yet, or you're newly licensed, which by the way, shout out to Bree, Amber, Caleb, and I'm missing somebody. Oh my gosh, who's the person I'm missing? John Lawton. There's four new licenses last night, Elian, and at the same time, 3 people asked for a refund. Y'all, it's just the craziest thing to me. Okay. So look, like we got 4 people quit, or 3 people quit, but 4 licenses. I'll take the 4 licenses all day. So, and yeah, I don't get licenses, or I don't get notifications from anyone on Cassie's team. Cassie said Morgan should be licensed also. Jerome would have gotten that email, not me, but that's awesome. So five new licenses in a day, guys. What's that going to look like when that's your team, right? Like, what's that look like when that's your people getting licensed in 5 in a day? Right? You have to keep thinking forward, guys. I think in this business, we get stuck in the where I am, not where I'm going mode. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like we get into this like funk of like, I only have one person on my team and they're not doing anything. They don't even respond to me and blah, 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 blah. Right? Like we do. And it's normal. Like that it happens. But you got to remember, like where you're at right now, you'll never be there again because you're getting better every day. Your skill set's getting better. The way you teach is getting better. The way you interact with people, your leadership skills, they get better. And so if you're getting better, you should never be where you are again. That should be comforting to some of you guys. Some of you, that's probably scary, but it should be comforting because you're going to grow, and the current income level you're living at, the success level you're living at right now should never be worse than where you are right now. And it might be good where you're at. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's going to get better because you're going to get better. Does that make sense? We all follow me. All right, cool. Gabby, I need one of them fancy hats myself. It's for my hair. Like my hair's crazy this morning. You know what I mean? I need one. So all right, guys, let's go. We're gonna get started. So how to keep your money. It's important. So once you are licensed, if you're not licensed, this does not, I'm not gonna say it doesn't pertain to you because it will pertain to you. But if you are not licensed, you will not be able to see what I'm showing you on your POL. Okay, so when I go into all apps for business, so I'm on the home screen, my POL, all apps for business, I'm going to come here to the middle. Okay. And once I get in the middle, I'm going to go to Life Manager. Once I open up Life Manager, hang on one second. So in Life Manager, there's a bunch of different things. Okay. So first off, we have the underwriting tab. Okay, so there are 33 life insurance policies that our team right now has actively currently right this second in underwriting. We have 19 policy change forms currently in underwriting. And we have policies issued right here in the last 60 days, okay? And then down here is final action. These are in the last 30 days. So when you are starting your business, right? When you like some of y'all, like Caleb, you're freshly licensed, right? Caleb, let's say you go out and you write a policy on Jack and Jill today, right? Their policies are going to most likely be in underwriting, okay? So once you submit the business, unless it's an instant issue policy, so if it's power term and it gets approved, it's going to go right here. Okay. Now, if it needs more information, like, you know how sometimes it pops up and it says need more info. If it does that, it's going to be right here in underwriting. So we're going to go to underwriting. Okay. So in underwriting, guys, what's going to happen? So great. This shows me some things I got to fix. Look, so all the red stuff is chargebacks. Okay, so if it says, and I'm not trying to like put anybody on blast by showing you guys this, if this is one of your family members or a client or something like that and it charged back, it is what it is, but I need to explain this to you guys so you see what it looks like. Okay, so look, if I go to days pending, This one, Jackson DeRuiter, was written by someone who's no longer here, and he wanted a whole life insurance policy instead. And I talked to him already, and he was told that he could get it. So God bless. But it's a $23 chargeback for me. Okay, so Kelly, if I'm looking through this, I'm like, okay, all the red stuff is money just chilling, right? That I can go get. Okay, so if I can reopen these, this is money that's already paid me, John, and it's charged me back because they canceled or they didn't have the money when the money pulled out or whatever, wrong banking info. And there's a lot of different things, variables here. Okay. And don't get freaked out by this, guys. I am showing you this to prevent the stress. Okay. So if this is stressing you out, you need to realize like, this is not your business we're talking about right now. It's mine. Okay. So anyway, when you're looking at this, these are all urgent and closing within a month. Okay. So these three are all lost causes. Okay. The most fun part about this is that this person, Natalie Mejia or whatever, was an agent. She's not even an agent. She was a recruit. She started the business and then she got a job somewhere else and wanted to cancel her life insurance because they offered her group life insurance and refuses to talk to me about it. Like, will not Angie answer the phone at all. Okay, it is what it is. It happens. And I'm showing you guys this to show you like it happens to everyone. Like everybody gets chargebacks, you're fine. Okay. But with this one, we're just letting it time out. So nothing I can do there. So we've got Damian Wright right here, which is through Kieran, right? And he needs to get the medicals done. It says warning outstanding. Okay. So what is outstanding? Great question. We're going to go click on the pending tab here. And the pending tab is going to show us that they've left many messages and they've been unable to get a response from the client for a time to complete the underwriting. So I have to have the client call this number. All right. So whenever you come in here, you can look and see what they need. Okay. So let's go to a more active policy. Okay. So these ones are all here. They've been here for a long time. And I'm actually doing my medical check in a couple of days, guys. All right. Don't yell at me. But they've been calling me trying to get it scheduled in Michigan, Kelly. I'm like, I don't live in Michigan. I haven't lived in Michigan for a year. My address on my application is Tampa. Why are you calling me from Michigan? Anyway. So, all right, here's one. Zach Platchtor. There was a felony on record and we need the information and I can't get the information around jail time, probation, anything like that. So like there's different things in here that you need to get for these policies. So like, let's see, here's another one. Theron Burton, he's one of my clients in Pennsylvania. He needs a medical exam, but this one was COD. But when they called him to schedule it, he said that he doesn't want the life insurance anymore. So there's no chargeback because it's COD, right? Which is why I took it COD, because I didn't have a great feeling about it. So guys, you can use your brain when you're on the appointment with somebody. And Gabby, let's say you're like helping your friend's friend, somebody that you don't know that well, and they're like kind of sketchy on the medical questions, like, have you used marijuana in the last 10 years? And they're like, well, it's medicinal, but no, not really, like whatever. You know what I mean? Like they're dodging the medical questions. Take it COD. If you don't have a good feeling about it, guys, just take it COD, because it's going to protect your, like anything COD will not affect your chargebacks. It doesn't give you, what else? It doesn't give you, it doesn't hit your QBI. Like none of the negative crap that comes with a canceled policy if you do COD. Okay, so that's why I would do COD as much as I can. Like there's another one right here, like Mila, I don't know who that is, but from my mom, has one requirement, right? So let's look at that one. So apps, Enola. So there's no outstanding. So this is what you want to see. When you have pending business, you want to see it say no outstanding rep responsibilities. That means that you've done your job. It's in underwriting's hands and it's in the client's hands to do their medical exam or to do, does that make sense, guys? Like you want your policies to all be sitting here with no outstanding rep requirements. Okay, so when I'm looking at this, what I see is anything under 30 days, I'm not freaking out. Okay. I'm not like freaking out. Anything from like 30 to 60. So these ones, I'm like, all right, what's happening here? Like, we need to get these fixed. Like Colton, Marissa, Zach, Shelly. Like, I don't even know what this one is. Outstanding. Shelly, if you're listening, I can talk to you about whatever that is later. David. So there's like cash with application returned unpaid. What that means is they gave you banking information. They tried to draw banking information, and maybe banking info was off. Maybe money wasn't in the account when they pulled it. There's a lot of different variables that could be. It doesn't mean that the charge got declined. It just means that there something on the banking info was off. So there's a form you can fill out to fix it. Okay, so and it's not hard. It takes 30 seconds. I actually filled out David's form the other day for both Timothy Hall, which David wrote, and then David for himself. So that's all your pending business. You do not want a lot of pending business. Okay, like you want to clear this up as quick as you can. All of these ones that say 4 requirements, 4 requirements, 4 requirements, 4 requirements, those are all medical check policies. That means that somebody has to get a medical check, which means that your quality of business is in somebody else's hands, aka the client's hands. All right, I don't know about y'all, but I want my business in my hands, right? So we need to make sure that when we're writing business, guys, we are writing business and doing the best that we can to get it to be a power term policy. So it's an instant issue policy. So we don't have a lot of these. Okay. Then you can come back and do an increase on this if you want to later. Okay. So that's the first thing. That's all the pending business. Then you have issued policies. All right, so if we look at these, looks like, what is that? 7 or 8 policies issued last night, right? So we have, hey, Jenna, yours issued a couple days ago. Great job. So Thomas issued, Bryce issued, Gabby, yours issued, Jenna's issued, Michael Alvarez issued, Elion, Devin Adams issued, Kelly, and then John Lawton issued. So all of these issued. So if you're the agent, right? So like here, look, and Cassie, I'll include you in there because I said Jenna. So if you guys are the agent on any of these policies, which I am on most, not most of them, I'm on a few of them, like Gabby, I'm just going to tell you, Gabby, you should go to myprimerica.com and create a login so you can view your policy on your backend portal. Okay. And I'm telling you, Gabby, like, yes, you should do that. But if you have questions, call me. Obviously, I'll help you with it. But you can log in and see it all. And then, guys, what that does is that removes the little red X over here. Every one of these little red X's costs you $25 90 days from now. Okay. So if the client does not view their policy, it costs you, the agent, $25. Okay. Why? Because you have to deliver the damn policy to the client. Does that make sense? Like they don't want you just writing business and never speaking to a client again. Okay. So you need to deliver the policy. Now you can do that one of 2 ways. The first way, Gabby, I could click on your policy, pull up all the policy pages, explain it to you, and send you a DocuSign with a policy delivery receipt, and then you sign it and say that you saw your policy. Okay. Or you could just open up your app and click on the policy in the My Primerica app, and then you're good. And that's all you need to do. And then I don't have to worry about anything else. Okay. So if you look, guys, so all the way from,
is it the same account that I use?
No, it's literally myprimerica.com.
Okay. And then I make a different account.
Yeah, this is like a client portal account, correct? So if I'm looking at this right here, there is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So this right here is 13 $25 charges. I mean, it's all less than a week old, so I'm not mad or anything like that, but it's 13 $25 charges that need to be cleaned up, right? So if you are the agent on any of these policies right here, really any of these policies in general, but really in the last 2 weeks, y'all started writing business like you were going to get paid for doing it or something. So all of a sudden we have a whole bunch of different names on the policies, which is good, right? That's what I want to see. But when you see that it issued, So like Kelly, you call Danny and be like, okay, Danny, what's up? Your policy issued, great news, issued as requested. Like that's what it means. Issued as requested. If it's like this, it means it issued as requested. If it issued with requirements, it means that there's something off. Like we were talking about this one last night, Ellie, and like this one issued at a table rating. So that's a little bit more expensive for the same coverage, which I'll talk to you guys about how to deal with that a different day, probably later this week. I don't have time to kind of go through all that this morning. But I will teach you that one time and record it, so I never have to teach you again, because it's my least favorite thing to do, because it's like the most work for no money at all. But it's delivering and placing the policy. It's very important that you know how to do that. So look, Angie Pangborn has not looked at her policy yet. It's been 13 days, right? I haven't been paying attention to my back office stuff. So like I will call Angie, hey, go to myprimerica.com and then click on your policy and look at it and let me know if you have any questions. Now, obviously you're going to want to get on a call with them and talk to them a little bit about it if you can, but if they're not going to answer you, just, hey, at least log in. At least log in and look at it, okay? So like if I'm looking at this, like Cassie, you have, looks like 3 policies on here, $25 a pop if you don't deliver them after 90 days, and it hits your earns, okay? So you don't have to pay a bill for it, but it goes to your earns payments, which is month 9, 10, and 11, or sorry, 10, 11, and 12 that pays out. That's your earns. If you don't deliver your policies, they take the $25 out of your earns. So you don't get paid that $25 if you don't deliver the policy, which is fair, because as an agent, your job is to what? Service the client, right? Like you got to make sure you're doing it. Okay. So perfect. What questions do you guys have about just the general first view looking at some of the stuff? Anything at all? All right, cool. So look, like this one issued, both of these actually, they're my clients. Both of these issued, they issued with the requirements, which is cash, right? They both bounced their payment. Look at this though. Like this is the thing that gets me frustrated and simultaneously excited. There's like $1,400 in chargebacks right here. What that means is if I go and reopen either of these policies, I will get readvanced that full amount. So Amber, what that means is I've got $1,400 just chilling here if I can get a hold of either of these people, which I've obviously been trying, but like to get a hold of them to sign the DocuSigns to put this policy in place. If they just sign the DocuSign and give me their banking info again, so they have the payment there, it's going to be fine. It's going to issue. Right? There's another one right here, Brian Harrelson. Like that's Alicia's dad, and I got to get that one fixed. Can't answer the phone. Let's see, Josh. I don't know, Josh, what's up with that one? We can look later. But it's a $12 chargeback for me because I override Nick, right? And Nick wrote the policy. And then I got another one right here with Christine, which I got to fix. That one's about to go NTO. So guys, you want to make sure that you have these things in the best scenario. So I want to show you tactfully what it looks like for you to have a bad QBI versus a good QBI. Okay. So if I go to persistency here, so quality of business, I write this down, okay, because this is literally painful for me to talk about. So quality of business, okay, is your take-in rate, which means if you write a policy, did the client accept the policy? So when it got written, did they take it? That's what it means. Okay, did they take it? All right, so my QBI is 55.68. Okay, not great. So I go, my take-in rate is 73.14. Persistency means that it lasts 17 months. Did it stay on the books for 17 months? So what you do is you take your take-in rate times your persistency, and that gives you your QBI, which my QBI is 55.86. Now watch this. If you don't think having a good QBI matters, you're crazy. Check this out. Last month, we did $42,500 in premium roughly, okay? So the way that your bonus as a regional vice president plays out, if you are, and And this matters when you're in the base shop, because when you go RVP, you take your QBI with you. Okay. So you guys that are writing one policy a month right now, or 2 policies a month, it matters because it's important. It affects my QBI and yours and whoever your upline is. So we did 42,000 in premium last month, Caleb. That's a 20% bonus. Okay. So it's 8,000. It should be an $8,500 bonus when the month starts, cash flow next Monday, but it's times QBI. And our QBI is going to go up, but let's just pretend it didn't. 55.8. It's $4,700 instead of 85. Okay, watch this. If we go back to that $8,500 number, and Caleb, let's say instead of my QBI being 55, it's 0.75, which is still not great, but that's better. It's 6,300. It's almost a $2,000 increase in bonus. That's almost 25 grand a year that you're costing yourself for having a bad QBI as a regional vice president. Okay, guys, I did not ever get shown that or taught that really until I was about to go RVP. Those of you guys that are brand new right now, just starting to write business, or maybe you haven't even written your first policy yet. If you're meeting with a client and you're like, yeah, this person, I don't know, I don't have a good feeling about this, they're probably not going to keep it, whatever. Take it COD or don't take it at all. Take it cash on delivery or don't take it at all. Why? Because you need to protect your business. Right? Because that's how you get paid. Like, guys, literally, like that, what you just saw there was literally my rent. Like, that's the difference in my monthly rent for my house, just because it's a bad QBI. You do not want to get into that same crap. I promise you guys, because it's hard. And then sometimes if you're too low on your QBI, which means they paid you a whole bunch of money and the clients didn't keep the policies because you weren't writing good business, then there's even persistency penalty, which you don't want to get into either, guys. And I'm not trying to like doom and gloom you all this morning, but it's a reality that you need to, like, this is a business. Just because you're doing it from home and just because you have flexible schedule doesn't mean it's not a business, right? You need to make sure that you're treating it as such. Once you get licensed, you got to write and place good quality policies, good products with good people that want to keep it. Like, for real. If I think that somebody's not going to keep the policy, I will straight up tell them like, hey, I'm not going to write this. Once you're licensed, especially if it's an agent, somebody that came into the business, hey, once you're licensed, we'll write it then. Or in a month, we'll write it. And it's not because I don't want to get them covered, but it's because I don't want to have the chargeback, the QBI, all the mess that comes with somebody who's just doing it for a promotion. Do you follow me? Like, if somebody comes in and they are only getting their life insurance for a promotion, they're not getting their life insurance for a good reason. I'm just being real. Now, if they're going to keep it, okay, debatable. That's a better reason than not. But if they're just getting it because they want to get a promotion, they're going to cancel. I've literally had people tell me, Kelly, like, well, I'll just get it and get promoted, then I'll cancel it next month. No, you're not doing that. We're not going to write it. Like, that's stupid. So guys, like, you need to understand that as you guys start writing business, like, so starting next week, I don't know what day yet, so don't ask me, all of you planning people. I don't know. But we're going to have a licensed agent meeting where if you have written business, you need to be on that. Or if you plan to write business, you need to be on that call. And we are going to go through pending business once a week. I don't care if you have one policy or 100, it doesn't matter. You need to be on that because we need to, like, you need to see the process of getting your policies through business so they place. That way you can keep your paycheck. Okay. I do not want you guys to get into big chargeback balances. Chargebacks on a small scale are inevitable. Chargebacks on a big scale should not happen if you're doing what you should be doing. Okay. We're protecting your QBI, your quality of business, and your income at all costs. Okay. Guys, do you have any questions about any of that stuff at all today?
I have a question real quick.
Go ahead.
So would it be best to run most of our policies in COD then, just to kind of protect ourselves?
No, don't do that. No. Okay. You do not need to do that. And that's part, like, that question. I appreciate you asking, but that question for me is 90% of the reason why I don't like teaching on this stuff, because then everybody gets like gun shy. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, I don't want to write policies and get charged back. If you're doing what you should be doing, you will not have chargebacks. Like, The reason, like I'm not gonna say you won't have chargebacks. You won't have very much. The average is about 10 to 15% charges back. Okay. And the reason for that is because you write a policy for your client and it comes back at a better price. So it's better for the client. So you get charged back on that little bit of difference. And don't hear chargeback as a bad thing all the time, because it's not. If your client pays $80 and you get a $30 chargeback because they got their policy for $30 less per month, that's good for them. That's good for your client, right? And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, to serve the client. And if you're writing business consistently, like guys, I haven't felt the squeeze of chargebacks very much in the last 90 days at all, because I've been consistent. If you're not consistent, that's when you feel that squeeze. If you only write one policy and it charges back, well, now you got to write one to pay that one off and another one to get paid. So if you're only writing one a month, it gets frustrating. But if you're doing a couple a month, you're good. And guys, just understand it's part of the business. And that's like, we're here to help you get through that. And like, when you get stuck or you're like, oh, I have a chargeback balance, like I'm freaking out, like we can help you. There's things the company doesn't want you not being paid. So whatever we can do to help you, we will, and they will. They'll do everything they can to help you. But it also, this business requires personal responsibility too, right? Like y'all got to understand, like if you're writing bad business, that's on you. Do it, slow down, ask more questions, go through the medical questions better. Josh, what's up?
One thing I just wanted to say to the group too, when I was a division leader way back in 2014, 2015, another thing that would really help you guys avoid those chargebacks is actually asking clients like, hey, is this a comfortable monthly amount that you can afford it at? You know what I'm saying? Not writing boatload policies for like large commissions, you know, because it's easy to get excited about how much money you're making. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to get excited about like large commissions and stuff. But if you're not making sure that the client can actually afford it, like instantly, right, you know, you're poking holes in your own boat by doing that. You know, so when we start rolling, just make sure that like we actually make sure that the client can actually afford it so that they hold on to it.
Yeah, that's good. And the other thing I do, and I'll walk you guys through the process on a different day, but another thing is to ask them for a 13-month commitment to keep it. Hey, look, we need to keep it on the books for 13 months. It affects my business long range if you cancel this within the first year and a month. So I need a 13-month commitment from you that you're going to keep this. And if you ever need to cancel it or adjust the prices, you call me. Because it doesn't matter if they decrease the coverage, that'll charge you back a little bit. But what's worse is the QBI. I'm just be honest with you guys. The quality of business, if they got a whole bunch of canceled and not kept policies, that is what is the worst part. It's not the chargebacks. $5,000 in chargebacks takes me like a week to write through. It's not that big of a deal. It sucks, but it's not that bad. But the QBI thing, like I've been dealing with a bad QBI for 8 months, and that affects my bonus every month. Like where we are currently, Caleb, that you just saw it. My QBI is going to cost me $25,000 this year. So don't write bad business. That's the solution, right? Like write good business and place it. And then follow up with your clients and stay in touch with them. So, all right, guys, I hope this was helpful. It's the first day of the month, guys. I'm going to drop a little contest here in a minute in the Telegram for day 1 of the month for an appointment setting contest, guys. Go be a day 1 closer. Who's going to put something on the scoreboard today? Go drop in the Telegram. What do you have on the calendar today for appointments? It's day 1 of April. We got to come out with a bang, guys. We have a couple big fight clubs this month. I do not want to lose to Paris and Montoya. We can beat them. All right, guys. So look, we're going to get out there. Who's closing today? Go put it in the Telegram chat. What do you